former Ohio State Buckeye offensive coordinator and UCLA head coach and Oregon offensive coordinator, Oregon head coach, New Hampshire, and Las Vegas Raiders offensive coordinator. Chip Kelly is taking over Northwestern. Let's talk about what that means for Northwestern and why I listed off all of these, places where Chip Kelly has worked and why I think this is a good thing for Northwestern and why I don't think it's such a bad thing when you look back on Ohio State. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year-round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, answer the question in the comments below. Do you think that Northwestern is going to be one of the top 20 scoring offenses in the country in 2026 after David Braun, head coach at Northwestern, hired Chip Kelly to be his new offensive coordinator? This is a really fantastic hire for Northwestern and a fourth really fantastic hire in the last 2 weeks in the Big Ten, right? Matt Campbell, Penn State, Kyle Whittingham, Michigan, Chip Kelly, Northwestern, and I'm going to throw Denton Lynn, Penn State in there as well. I think you got to be excited about this if you're a Wildcat. You do. You're going to be one of the top scoring offenses, according to me, in the country. Answering this question for myself after being number 15 in the Big Ten. Just a really rough and non-creative offense you've been running there. Sometimes that's out of necessity because you got to make it simple and you have to be able to block and tackle and you have to use what you got. And Zach Lujan, who was the offensive coordinator that preceded Chip Kelly, I think did the best with what he had. That said, with Chip Kelly, you're going to probably get a better quarterback because he can recruit you a better quarterback. And he's probably going to create an offense that plays to that player's strengths. The knock on Chip Kelly at Ohio State is that the offense did not open up enough until they took their first loss to Oregon on the road. And after that game, it became very clear to everybody that Chip Kelly was really focusing a little too much on the run game and trying to balance the offensive attack. And got Quinshon Judkins, you got Travion Henderson. You want to get them their touches. But the dude playing on the outside and wearing number 4 is a mismatch, was a mismatch no matter where you put him in 2024. And he turned out to be the reason that they won the national championship, making big play after big play and having a gargantuan postseason that culminated in a 56-yard touchdown catch from Will Howard to seal the 34-23 win against Notre Dame in the national championship game. And people don't always want to remember this, but Chip Kelly called that play. Now, he also was the dude that was calling the offense when they lost to Ohio State, lost to Michigan, at Ohio State in 2024. And I think that left a funny taste in many people's mouths. And the idea was that Chip Kelly was brought in to run an offense that he already knew, that Ryan Day trusted him to run so that Ryan Day could do the CEO stuff as a head coach, which would make them a better football program capable of winning the national championship. And that's how that went. After that was over, Chip Kelly headed to the NFL. Defensive coordinator Jim Knowles headed to Penn State to become the highest paid assistant coach in the country, only to get fired at the end of that year. Now he's the defensive coordinator at Tennessee. Kelly goes to Vegas as the highest paid offensive assistant coach in the NFL, only to get fired after 11 games. The offense was so bad. He had good things to say about Geno Smith. Geno Smith had good things to say about him. This felt like more of a Pete Carroll failing than it did a Chip Kelly failing to me. That said, you could have gone and got a quarterback at any time. Shedeur Sanders, who's been playing pretty damn good football for the Cleveland Browns, albeit a rookie, still throwing rookie-like picks, would have fit right in that culture. And I think with Kelly, might have been able to do some things, but the thing that Chip Kelly does not want his quarterbacks to do is hold the football. But I don't think that there's many offensive coordinators that do. Like even me as a play caller, I don't want my quarterback back there trying to Houdini out of plays. I want him to run the offense, right? Which is to say, first read, second read, third read, fourth read, fifth read is dumping it off. And if everybody's covered, the ball better be gone, right? I don't need you holding it. And I don't need you going 1, 2, 1, 3, Shoot. That's not going to help anybody. I am curious though to find out just what the offense looks like with Kelly, because we do know it when he was at UCLA, they were good. 2023 team finished number 17 nationally in rush offense, and his 2022 team averaged over 500 yards a game. And his 2021 and 2020 teams led the Pac-12 in scoring. Like I said, they're going to put up some points. Now, he was head coach there, so he has a lot more to say about what the defense is doing in a way that he won't at Northwestern. But David Braun is a defensive coach by trade. Kelly also won 25 games in his final 3 years at UCLA before they had a part in the ways, because it came down to two things. One, he wore out his welcome at UCLA. Two, he didn't want to be a head coach no more. And I kind of get it. If you made your money and you don't think that the job you're doing is actually coaching football anymore, but you still want to coach football, the only thing to do is to step down. And he takes a lesser role as an offensive coordinator, first at Ohio State, then at the Vegas Raiders, now at Northwestern. I think this also is coinciding with Northwestern getting ready to open its damn near $1 billion facility in Ryan Field. $850 million this thing is costing. And that's one of the reasons why I think they're going loud in 2026. They would really like to make a run at the college football playoff, which is another way of saying is wouldn't everybody, right? I think you're also bringing a level of gravitas to a program that hasn't had that and has been really in the shadow of Pat Fitzgerald for so many years, who, by the way, is also back in the Big Ten coaching Michigan State. But you were able to turn a corner when you found money in David Braun, get your reputation back on track after the hazing scandal that left Pat Fitzgerald without a job and not working at the place where he is synonymous. The further you get away from Pat Fitzgerald, the better. I say the same thing about Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. The further you get away from that, the better. You want not only new blood and new ideas, you also want someone who's proven they can do it before. I also understand if you're a Northwestern fan, you might look around and go, yo, do we really have the personnel to do the kinds of things that Ohio State was able to do? Because it feels like that's the thing here. When he went to Vegas and he had Ashton Jeanty, it felt like it was going to work, because the one thing that Chip Kelly could rely on or would rely on is running the football. You're going to need a back there. You're going to need a guy that, at quarterback too, that can move around a little bit, right? I think Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Will Howard, those are guys that can move around a little bit. Gino getting old, right? But Gino's still kind of squirrely. Also wild to me that in back-to-back season, Chip Kelly got to coach Jeremiah Smith and Geno Smith, who were cousins to each other, right? Imagine Geno Smith still being in the league playing quarterback when Jeremiah Smith is in the league playing wide receiver, and somehow they get to play together. That'd be a lot of fun. It's not that far-fetched. As a matter of fact, I would say it's not as far-fetched as LeBron James getting to play with Bronny, and that happened. As for the future of Northwestern football, man, we'll see, dog. Like, it's a tough league. It's a really, really, really tough league. Think about it this way. Ohio State, right? Oregon, Indiana. Or should I say Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, right? And then take your pick. USC, right? Penn State, Iowa. You might find it the Barry Odom figure something out with Purdue. Maryland might jump up and bite you. Rutgers is probably going to go bowling, because that's kind of sort of what they do with Greg Schiano as their head coach. Washington is going to be decent to good. I mean, to get into the top four of that league that's 18 teams deep is a really tough climb for a program like Northwestern. But I do think that you're right to be optimistic about your ability to get there 2026, as opposed to how you felt you were leaving 2025 with this hire of Chip Kelly. See if he still got something left. We'll see if there's something in that in that new Ryan Field that gives them a little boost and a little bit of energy. But right now, 2025, heading into 2026, I'm going to say it's cool, man. Good for you, Northwestern. You might score some points. You're going to score some points in 2026.